Bonjour. So welcome to another weekly roundup of 6 of the best and a look at some of the also rans. Let's get right into it because it was a bumper week. It was a bumper week. I think I picked up something like 15, 16 books this week. Mostly independents, but let's start off with this, Hellcat. Intriguing. That's off to a good start. This is the only mainstream publisher comic I've got this for anyone this week. So if you was looking for more Marvel or any DC, not saying there weren't any decent DC, picked up a couple, but not for 6 of the best. This is the 6 of the best. Intriguing start on that issue 1. As always, I've done issue 1 of this. Guys, I've just got to say, I enjoy this so much. I just enjoy it. That is just like a Saturday morning cartoon. Like if you're English, I don't know what the equivalent will be anywhere else in the world, but just when you're a kid growing up and you've got all the silly cartoons on a Saturday morning, that is such a well written and drawn little comic there, right there. Thoroughly enjoy it, laughing all the way as the Christmas song goes. Right, another hit from me, but this is a what Wes Craig has said is a good jump-on point for new readers. So first, this is issue 6. First 5 issues, all self-contained, are going to be a graphic novel. This isn't going to be in a graphic novel. This is for his monthly readers. Something in it for us for a change. Instead of putting extras in the graphic novel to get us to buy the comics every month and then go out and buy the graphic novel because what's extra content, which is a bit naughty. Unless you're going to do an all singing, all dancing hardcover, of course. But anyway, let's keep it on track. Next one up. Again, I know I've done this before, but it's getting near the end, and all against all, just a really great sci-fi book. Really, it really is. It's weird, it's surreal, and it's good. You know, the art style is just suits the storyline so much. Now I haven't done Hate Fairyland for a while, so you know you got to give me a little bit of a break on this one. It's got a really cool idea in it, scanning the barcode. We'll get into it after the scroll, and I just really enjoyed that. What a neat little idea. Nevertheless, a good read, continues to be a good read, and this, the star of the show by a long way. This comic book, this is what I call right up my street. It's got everything in this. Science fiction, great artwork, intriguing first issue storyline, great characters, all the tech, all the spaceships. Superb. That's my book of the week. So that's the 6 I'm going to go through. Just a quick mention for some of the also rans. Last Barbarians. I did do issue 1 as one of my 6 of the best, and the artwork in this book, I've got to say, is absolutely stunning. I know it's some kind of, you know, computer generated stuff alongside, you know, traditional artwork, but just one of the also rans that continues to be a good book. Hexware, for the same reasons, great kind of cyberpunk, magic, fantasy, sci-fi mashup of just nice. It hits all the spots just nicely, and a very, very traditional one of the also rans. Issue 3. I've been enjoying this. Obviously, Jeff Johns, one of the heavyweights of comic book writing, and it's got a little bit of Sergeant Rock at the start. So if you're missing your hit of Sergeant Rock after not the was it the Army of the Dead, the zombie one in World War II? If you're missing it, then I recommend that for a little read. So after the scroll, let's do a deep dive of the 6 of the best. Right, so we start off with the one mainstream book I bought this week, Hellcat. But obviously did enjoy it. Christopher Cantwell, he can be a divisive writer, to be fair. I think it's fair for me to say. But I tend to like most of the stuff he writes, and this isn't your typical. They've gone for a definite departure from your typical Marvel female superheroine approach. That's all I'll say. That's what I will begin with this book. Obviously, it does go back to her childhood and some trauma there, and it mixes up a bit of her past. And I haven't picked up any Hellcat books. I haven't picked up anything of her modern history. And this book, very neatly and concisely, has brought me right up to date with a very, very different take on a superheroine. I've got to say, the art style, it suits the kind of seedy, underground kind of effect they're going for. You know, she's just been arrested as Hellcat. She's just done something very bad, and it flips between the modern day and flashbacks. This I really liked at 16 years old, and the artist has done the style of the Archie comics, which I really did think was he's done some nice stuff there. Just that page looked as even as if it's torn out of a comic. Betty and Veronica. I thank God for that. I didn't have to Google it later. So yeah, that I just thought a really nice way of doing that one page of flashback back into modern day. Like I say, we're back in. She lives in the kind of literally haunted house, a haunted family house, and it is. She's right on her. Look, hitting the bottle, hitting a ibuprofen. Don't do this at home, kids. Yeah, a really seedy story of something wrong going on, and she's wondering if she did it. A very, very intriguing first issue. Introduces this character at the end. Like I say, this guy as well may have been Sleepwalker, may have been introduced in other comics with Hellcat in it, but like I'm coming at this without any backup, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And left it on a nice little cliffhanger with he is obviously someone this is someone from her past. Obviously by the end we realise this, and he's in a little bit of trouble as well as her, and she's kind of gone to him for a little bit of help. So a very nicely done first issue for a character that I don't think is one of the, no, I know it's not one of the massive hits of, you know, the big hitters of the Marvel universe, even though she is a woman, but we won't go there. Darkwing Duck, come on. Something's going on. Something's going wrong at the school. So that's your first page intro. They send out the duck signal. This duck's name is Howard. Should I be laughing at this? I don't know. Look, and she's asking herself, where is Darkwing Duck? Look, as the sun comes up, she's waited all night for him. Here he is. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the rain that dampens the firewood, snuffing out the dying embers of evil. But last issue he retired, so he's Drake Mallard now. He's back to his normal self. He's Drake Mallard, and the hilarity ensues from there. He thinks he's seen Thunderquack, but it is actually Thunderquack. His father-in-law's turned up, who hates him. Moleculo. He's throwing him off his land. I don't know why I love this stuff so much, but I just do. And it's the art style is great. It's light enough. And this, you just read through it. A ghost has turned up. and he's there to meet an old flame, Morgana. They've done the bats. His tongue hanging out all the way through this. I've just got to mention a little nod to the letterer. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. More gazap. More gazap. Duck a split, because she's got to get him out of, you know, somehow he's fired. He thought this was going to do a Ghostbusters and suck this ghost into his gun. But it's worked in reverse. He's possessing the ghost. Duck a split. Look, I don't know. I just found this stuff highly hilarious. So she saved him a proposal, yeah, because he's retired. He's retired. He wants to settle down. Look, and his daughter's thinking, oh my God, you know, nobody asked me. Look, real world issues, guys. Real world issues. She's cooking goulash for breakfast. Bat stir, the letterer again. Fork pling, knife doink, bowl boink, spoon catch. Oh, come on. Well, it made me laugh. Perhaps I was just in that. Perhaps I was just in that mood. But these are all his inventions, like, because he's gone back to his inventor self in reality. We find out that her two bats are called Eek and Squeak. She's doing the bake sale at school. We find out she's going to use scorpion tails, which they don't think is very. This is his memoir, look, mementos of his room, of his greatest moments. He's still got a big picture hanging up above his fire. You know, you know he's coming back. He's spending this issue in retirement. You know he's coming back. Of course we do. I love this bit here. Look, she's asking him what all these pictures represent. Look. Dark Warrior Duck, you have no idea how hard it is to have a portrait made from an alternate timeline. Dark Warrior Duck. Wow. The phone. Who doesn't want that phone? With the cord. Oh dear. Well, I do. Anyway, he gets a call from the school because the first page, it's Bushroot that attacked the gardener in the first page, and oh my God, we find out at the last page it was Bushroot. Where's Darkwing Duck? He'll save us. Without him, we're all doomed. Ta-da! Brilliant. Anyway, Darkwing Duck, folks. I think it's great. So this is Wes Craig, who is the writer and artist on this book, and you know, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I've recommended this time and time again. I'm going with this issue 6 because this is the ideal jumping on point if you've missed the first 5 issues. So you can get involved, buy the graphic novel, get this issue 6 if you really want to do it that way, or just seek out. I don't think they're ultra rare, the first 5 issues. I can't imagine they're that rare. Again, he's got such a beautiful art style. I really enjoy. Gives us the flashback of the flashbacks within the flashbacks. Dark, ominous portents of doom. Little bit of her childhood. This is basically the story of how the character we followed in the first 5 issues got her metal arm, her kind of robot arm. And look at that. I thought this was a beautiful panel of art. I think that is a great, moody, almost like Mike Mignola, or Mignola, however you pronounce his name, on Hellboy. Love that. But like I say, I've loved his art style all the way through. And it all goes wrong. She's only supposed to get a little bite from the snake, but it all goes properly wrong, and it's down to her mum. It comes back to midday, you know, present day, sorry. And this is what our dad had to do, what our dad had to sacrifice. We still don't really know. But that's how she got her metal arm. He had to, you know, he went to the Thunder Mountains and got her, and come back with that. So this is that was a nice jumping on point, because from issue 6, it's going to, you know, from issue 7, sorry, the next issue is going to start afresh. A little backup story here from the same character, by a different artist who I don't know, Al Gopher, which was pretty tidy. It's fair enough, you know. No, not a patch on. No disrespect to the guy, but a completely different style from Wes Craig. Bit of fan art, and what I also found was nice at the back. Starting your own create your own book. So if anyone is interested, this was really, really helpful. 3 pages of just solid help and the do's and don'ts in a way. And there's a cover for you, issue 7. Thoroughly recommend it. I know I've done it before, and I suppose I'll carry on doing it unless he really does drop the ball. And like I've said before, he uses the back page. He doesn't just give us, he doesn't just let them get away with doing a black with a logo in it, or white with a logo in it, or red with a logo in it. Tells us the story, tells us who they are and what they've done. It's only 2 paragraphs. How hard is that to do to attract new readers? So full marks to. I don't know why some image books do this, and some don't. I really don't know why. And Boom Studios, NAW, you know, a lot of them. Obviously, if there's a full page advert here that is helping you publish your comic, don't get me wrong, I'm not against that. Guys, you've got to earn your money and you've got to publish the next issue. So, you know, but just, you know, this isn't really doing it, is it? Just giving a quote and telling anyone who wants to read this book how good it is. It gets there halfway, but it's nothing like telling someone how great a sci-fi future epic this is. You know, with one of the last of humanity surviving in a spaceship in the far future. I mean, come on. That's got to be a better way of getting someone to open up this book. And this artwork continues to stun me. This is beautiful stuff, and it's visceral stuff as well. How he goes from, and he lends, I think he lends a surreal feeling to Caspar Wingard. He lends such a surreal feeling to this, when he does the humans, somehow he makes it a bit more well defined. Whenever the human turns up, or when it's the alien stuff, I love it. I really do think this is a great art style. Look, you know, stuff like this with the colouring in it as well. Yeah, superb. Absolutely love it. And it really is with proper alien tech, with proper out there, totally alien tech. Then you get like an almost sketchy panel like this, but I still love it because he really has kind of, you know, given it all here. And then just to get that totally sketchy style. One of the aliens that are after the last human, he's got this suit that was experimental. And it's all kicking off. Obviously, this is the penultimate issue, so it's all kicking off between the bad guy alien, because the other aliens are trying to say, look, you know, what we've got this human here, we need to understand him, kind of thing. You know, the classic sci-fi tropes. And no, he's got this suit of armour. It's all you know. They're telling him that there's something about it. It's untested and a little bit too experimental. No, he won't listen. Look, whack. Not interested. Fly here, landing all the maggots. Which leads us into this with the half corpse, but obviously these are aliens. We don't know their physiology or anything. So this is his daughter, who is gonna. Oh, there's his arm, but she's gonna carry him off in a minute. Here we go. She's got one arm. He's got half a body. Here we go. This is what I mean about the surreal nature of the story. It really is superb. Really is superb. And again, you get stuff like this, and almost like I've said before, like almost like looking through a 3D camera. And then, but when he does the human, very nicely, well defined. I think very nicely done. He's obviously stumbled on something now from humanity's past. You know, typical old stuff, but it's giving him enough pause to get ambushed by our bad guy. Backwards and forwards with the alien way of life and the alien way of like their alien tech, which is kind of hybrid. It is very hybrid, very hybrid, living and robotic, I would say. And that's our setup for the last issue. Again, thoroughly recommend that. I know I've done it before, but I'm going to do it again because I don't know why I'd say it, but I think that maybe this surreal kind of eclectic style of art may be putting some people off. I don't know. I hope not. I hope I'm really wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And Alex Packnadel, Casper Wingard, all these guys, Hassan Otsmani, Eliahu, superb. Absolutely superb, nailing it. Just a great sci-fi story there. Here we go, guys. Come on. I've done Darkwing Duck. I must be in that mood. I must be in that mood to go from the serious to the stupid. But this book has been funny since day one. I've really enjoyed this. And obviously Scotty Young needs no introduction, but Brett Bean is doing a stand-up job. A stand-up job. 3/4 of this comic, he has got no panels. It's got no speech balloons. But you scan that in, and you get a rock track by Jack the Radio, right? Which is, I think, one of the guys in the band is Scotty Young's friend. And he said, would you like to do a song about Hate Fairyland? And they kind of done a mashup of him writing the lyrics based on the storyline Scotty Young had in mind. And then Scotty Young kind of writing the story along the lines of what he had in mind to write. So a nice mashup. So I did do this. I did experiment with this today, and somehow it worked. I don't know how Scotty Young and forgive me, and Jack the Radio, the band. God knows how they've pulled this one off. I really didn't think it would work, but I'm happy to say it kind of did, because the lyrics aren't kind of explaining what's going on, but it kind of is about her escaping fairyland. And yeah, you don't need the bands in it all the way through, which I love as well. Like some kind of twisted School of Rock episode, if they ever did a TV series. You know, this is all classic Hate Fairyland stuff. Here's the band on the press. You know what this reminds me of now, off the top of my head? I'm just thinking of a film called Rango, where the mariachi band were in several scenes, just coming along to tell a sad, to regale us with a sad song about what Rango was getting up to with his strumming the guitars and that. So yeah, this is like along that line. It's all that shtick. Look, it's almost like Brett Bean has embodied Scotty Young with his art style. And I don't mean that it's not an individual style, you know, it's his artwork, but definitely in the style of Scotty. They really are, the band's back, look, they really are doing a fantastic job, you know, and it is difficult for an artist to follow someone like Scotty Young. And then obviously she's back in, you know, here we go. Here we are, look, there's the band again. It's difficult for someone like Brett Bean to follow, you know, to fill those Scotty Young's boots. I tell you what, and he's done it. He's done it. It must be scary, at the very, very least. Obviously, it's an honour to be asked, but it's got to be scary. Must be. No one can tell me otherwise. But he's done a great job. This is all classic. It's all classic Hate Fairyland stuff. Punt. It had to be punt, didn't it? Oh dear. And anyway, but it kind of has it's like I Hate Fairyland to be continued, but then it kind of has an epilogue. So you've got next issue, and then a couple of adverts, and then it's almost like a post credits. The post credits, we see where he's been punted to. Are you okay? That's to be determined. Gert happened to me, kid. This is like your post credits. Look, we can see Gert. He's back. So, last but not least, is this bad boy. Oh wow, oversized format, and it really does deserve it. And yes, I have just moved the camera to take it all in, so forgive me for that. And absolutely, this is, like I said in the intro, this is right up my street. This is my proper cup of tea. This is a bit of me, whatever way round you want to describe it. Heavy sci-fi intro into the extreme far future, all the years, imperial calendar, spaceships, the universe in the background. Here we go. You know, I haven't got and we're introduced to the Forge team, Scimitar 3. You know, just it's an all-female, and they are big women. They are big women, the Forged. And they're obviously, through these first few pages, beautiful art, by the way. Love this art. I should always write these names down, shouldn't I? Is it Troutman? Eric Troutman, Mike Henderson. Beautiful job on this artwork. Must say, they're all properly proportioned, big boned women that are obviously warriors, soldiers, marines, you know, space marine type stuff. It evoked Aliens for me a bit. In some of the, no, I'm not saying that in a bad way. It evoked Starship Troopers. It evoked Fifth Element in the way the Imperial kind of generals are dressed. You know, the pomposity of the upper echelons of it all. And this it's so beautifully done. This artwork, I was well in on this. And basically, this ship is where she shouldn't really be away from the Empress, and they never leave them. They're called Cassandras. No Wayne's World jokes. And they never leave the side of the Empress, but she's here on this ship, and we don't know why. And she's asking the captain of the ship, or the general, whatever he is, to do something a little bit naughty with the coordinates. But they are kind of witches. So she gives him a bit of a dream, nightmare, messes with his melon, in order to get him to kind of go against protocol, to take this spaceship where she wants it to go. And that's the mystery behind this first issue. And she calls the captain of the Forge team. You know, the title of the comic's Forged. It's about this group of women warriors. I like the fact that one of them, two of them here are sisters, but one of them, for some reason we don't know yet, speaks through. You know, she's got a little mouthpiece here. This robotic little kind of drone, which I really did like. You know, I hope you die. Is that any way to talk to your big sister, who's sitting on her back at them? Nice. It's just lovely sci-fi stuff. This is, like I keep saying, really my cup of tea. Beautiful art. I love this style of art. Light on the colouring as well when it needs to be. All the style. The style of the different outfits and the costumes of the, you know, the Imperial officers and stuff. Proper setting out his stall with the type of woman warrior, you know, humanoid, and, you know, the temptress. Proper setting out their stall here with this style of art and the storytelling. This is great graphic storytelling right here. This is just a conversation, but you can't wait to get through it. You can't. This is what I call proper page turner of graphic storytelling. You know, she's trying to do something, manipulate her. She knows she's being manipulated, but here she goes again with, you know, messing with her melon. But whatever she's done to her here, at about midpoint, she doesn't really know. Look, she kind of comes to in the corridor. And she doesn't know. She doesn't know why, but she's telling her troop to get ready. And here's all their flight suits. Now we get all their different names, because we haven't got them up to yet. We've just been introduced to them as a gang of misfits kind of thing, and it's very, very, very nicely done. Just really, really can't recommend this book enough. Oh, here we are at midpoint. Here are the stables, and again, he's saying no, we're not going to follow her all, but she's there, and they are gonna. Aye, sir. Look, she's manipulated him again. She's also manipulating the captain of the team, just giving her enough of a memory, so she's still following. She's still kind of dancing to the Cassandra's tune, and we go through a bit of prep. We're left with, we don't know what's going on here. And then for a good few pages, which is again spectacularly done, is the drop onto the planet in the suits. Great design, great colouring, great art. God, just, yeah, beautiful stuff. Look at this. God, what an enlarged format as well. What a great, whosever idea it was to go full, like, do this kind of half size again format. Top marks to them. Top marks to them for that. Got to say, 10 out of 10. Yeah, and like I say, and then it ends there basically. But the ship's coming down on top of them, so they're having to run. And I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there with that. And then this is the other bit I loved. So you've got that story, and you've got a lot of questions. So you kind of get a poem here, or a song, the Forged Creed, which is the Space Marines Creed, whatever you want to call it. You know, if you want to do it in movie parlance, you get a map of where we are on the planet they've just dropped in on. I love all this stuff. Then you get kind of like a little essay from Professor Hiram Osgupto, the Exogeography and Galactic Cartography Chair of the blah, 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 blah. But basically giving you some background on all these worlds we're on, or the background to the story, the characters, where they're from. And I love all this stuff. Another one here, look, excerpt from a lecture by this guy, giving us more background. An overview of the tactical and strategic applications as examined by analysis of the single pilot crash generated advanced weapons platform, also known as Forged. So there we go. Crash generated advanced weapons platform. So, and here we are. Warrior profile. Team leader. War name Victory. There's her suit. And here we go. All numbered and dimensions. Excellent. Love it. Evil. You wonder what this stands for in the story. But it stands for Evolved Virtual Intelligence and Logistics. Again, gives you a little bit of, this is more getting into the comic-y book side of it now, and you can email and do the scan the QR code and that, and I think that's one of the creators' doggies, or both the creators' doggies each. Yeah, and another little, what's Cohen scroll of the Cassandras, which is that, the kind of witch in the story, that which must happen. So other than that, we've got four or five here in the lineup for cover of the week, and I've got to say, yeah, easily a runner-up, but I think I've got a soft spot for the for the artist and for the style of the costuming and the art. I don't know. I think I've just got. I don't think that's an exceptional cover. Put it that way. I think that's what I'm trying to spit out. This Darkwing Duck, of course, it's always exceptional. But the serious contenders. I know I didn't go through Red Goblin, but I just thought that was a fantastic cover. That it really is a fantastic cover. If you're going to try, I actually thought at a point that he had his hand around someone's head, like with pulling his hair. But anyway, still a fantastic cover, even if he isn't pulling someone's hair. Trojan, just think that's a fantastic cover. If that cover isn't going to intrigue you and make you wonder about what is inside it, I don't know what will. And this, I think, it's between these two. And I know I went for issue 1 of this as cover of the week. This classic art style, almost like I don't know if this was actually done in maybe watercolours or a mixture of watercolours and oil. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what kind of and computer. I don't know. Literally don't know what. But the effect of it is such a beautiful classic style of art versus this kind of very modern, almost cinematic, almost photographic style. Both equally as valid to sell a comic book. This one says a fantasy story along the lines of Lord of the Rings, etc., etc., Dungeons and Dragons. This one says Welcome to Hell. Both saying look inside to find out more. If I really am conflicted. And I think just because I voted, really, this is me. But I'm going to vote Trojan, issue 3, cover of the week this week, just because I voted Last Barbarians last issue. And on that note, thank you for, if you're still here listening along, thank you for holding on for so long, and I will bid everyone adios.